Hi, Saule. Thank you so much for joining us on this series. It's such an honor to have you because we've been having these conversations behind the scene for so long. I really felt we needed to share them with the world. But before we go on, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm happy that you're having me, and I'm happy that you invited me to join these conversations. It's the topic I'm passionate about. So I'm all about feminine leaders, future feminine leaders, aspiring feminine leaders, especially in business, because I believe that it takes leadership to become an entrepreneur. And it's relatively a new thing for women to start their business, to grow their businesses, and especially with my history of coming from corporate. It's new to be surrounded by women who talk about business, who are owning their skills, their experience, their strength. Yes, and I'm an energy healer, transformational healer, and I'm talking everything about energy behind your business. Why? Because there are feminine and masculine energies. We need to learn how to manage our energy to be the most efficient in our business, to be successful, and also to express ourselves and to be resourceful. Yes, what we manifest in our business is actually a manifestation of our inner resourcefulness.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm talking about. Right now, I'm in the process of changing the title, so I can't give you the short title yet. But let's say it's transformational healer for women in business.
Yeah, in just this one sentence, I've been grinning like an idiot because in just this one sentence you've highlighted so many different things. The fact that masculine energy is different from feminine energy. And most people are not aware of that. We are used to just one way of working, and we don't realize that as women, our energy, our way of working is different. In the world today, masculine energy is the norm. In business today, masculine energy is the norm. And in corporate, is that masculine energy is the norm. But I've understood this. It's taken me years after leaving the corporate world to understand this. And that's coming in contact with people like you and all the other amazing women that I've encountered. But most people don't know this. So I'd like to talk to you more about this differentiation, the masculine energy versus the feminine energy. But before we go there, I think an important part that you missed out, you just mentioned that you come from a corporate background. And we jumped into talking about energy. But what people don't know is that you're not just from any corporate background. You have about 2 decades of experience in the financial sector as the CFO of Mars segment of Wrigley, and a lot of other big names. Do you want to drop those big names that you work with in the as a financial?
Yeah, sure. The first working place was Earnst Young. I think one of the most masculine energy business structures.
Yeah, go ahead. After that,
it was accounting and consulting there. Then Halliburton, which is oil service, very masculine dominated. Like really typical anecdotal, like stereotypical masculine environment. Engineers, oil service, all the processes, people, environment, culture, everything was purely masculine. And some couple of other smaller companies like FMCG companies, which is fast moving consumer goods companies. It's very sales oriented. So it's also very masculine, the convincing sales, all the supermarkets, they distribute their products to. So it's our current modern retail-based business, right?
Right.
And it's also transnational, which makes it even more masculine. And the most funny, ironic company I think I had to join as a part of this experience, and I've become a CFO there, was a company called Mars. All women are from Venus, and I was from Mars. So I can laugh about it right now and say that I was a spy I was a spy in the masculine world to learn everything about it, to experience it myself, to grow in these systems, to understand how to grow there. It was painful. It was painful, yeah. To become a C-level, manager, to lead the team, to take responsibility for companies' finances, yes, for strategic results and growth of financial results of this company. And I really feel that I was a spy in the masculine world, to understand this masculine energy, how it works, why women feel not comfortable, why women struggle to grow in these companies, and struggle with being paid well. We'll still know that women are paid less, even in the C-level positions. So we don't see many executive CEOs in the masculine world of corporations. And if we see them, we don't quite associate them with women. I mean, their behavior, of course, not their style of leadership and behavior. It's not quite feminine. We don't recognize it there, right? Rarely, but I can say that I've never met such a lady in the CEO position who would be embodying feminine, a lot of feminine. So yeah, they are role modeling masculine because it's a requirement.
Absolutely.
That's to fit in, yes, to be accepted. So basically corporations are masculine world made by men for men. And yes, where women were fighting for equal rights, women started, earning money, wanted to have their own income and financial independence. And yes, world was changing in 20th century when these corporations were starting to develop, but the rules are still the same. Rules made by guys for guys, to be successful guys, to become successful guys.
I love how you say it so simply. Rules made for guys, by guys, to become successful guys. And then as women, we go in there in the name of equality, and because we are smart and we believe we can achieve everything, we are told we can achieve everything, that we can be as smart as the guys, as smart as the guys, right? Not as smart as women, but as smart as guys. We are told that, and we go into the corporate world. We try to climb the ladder. At the junior levels, it's okay. It's still okay because in your early 20s, you don't understand that and you don't see it. But once you hit the mid-30s, once you get into the 40s and you realize what it takes to climb the corporate ladder, like you said, it's for guys, by guys, to become better guys.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, somewhere around the 40s or the late 30s, you realize, not just you, I mean, a lot of women are coming to realize that they don't want this. They don't want the kind of lifestyle that being in the C-suite involves.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a CFO or a CX or whatever it is, that brings with it its own kind of lifestyle, right? Taking calls at all hours, being present all the time. And more than that, being forced to work in a certain way.
Yeah.
That aggression, that I can't, you know what? I've now even forgotten the words to describe it. I'm so glad I'm out of the corporate. I always felt like a square peg in a round hole.
So I think the main difference is that, these companies there are expectations for leader positions to be passionate, to be confident, to be vision-driven, to also be assertive and strong in your opinions and speaking your truth.
Yes.
But all these things have to fall into their expectations.
Exactly.
Expectation of someone on top, or shareholders, or whatever is, the structure or system that's ruling that small world of this corporation, right? So you should have vision and passion for their goals.
And
right? And play their game by their rules. And you don't always know the rules. Because most of these rules, boys learn these rules by playing the games, the group sport activities from childhood. So some of these rules are unspoken. They just know it because they are boys.
Most of them.
They just accept these roles. Or even when these things are spoken through, sharing on the trainings of the company, through sharing their vision, mission, expectation, things like this, they understand the language and they kind of understand the expectation from them.
Yes.
Women, I think, on the other hand, have different interpretation for the same things that were shared with them. They have different interpretation because they filter it through themselves as women, right? And when you talk about vision, mission, and passion, how can you put passion into something that your heart doesn't have a desire for?
Yes.
Women are more heart-driven, right? Heart-centered. And if it's passion, it equals a heart-centered connection.
Yes.
And here's, already the big gap. Yeah, corporation expect that you will be passionate about their goal and their vision, and you will put all your drive and energy and focus to achieve that energy and goal. And then you also earn some, bonus by driving that machine, towards a certain direction. But I think women can't do it if they don't have the heart's desire. If they don't do this with their heart, by, caring about people, caring about team, doing something, I don't know, that makes a difference in the world, doing something good. And what I faced with a lot of women leaders in our corporation, that at certain point, they keep talking with you about your career aspiration, your next step, become even next step leader, etc., etc. And at certain point, you can't join these conversations with sincerity. Yes. You can't play any longer, If it's oil business, in your heart, you don't believe it's a good solution for the world, for the future of the humanity and children. You can't put your heart and passion into it.
Absolutely.
If it's products with GMO and, not very good products in FMCG company, or tobacco, or, spirits, etc., you in your heart don't believe that it's a good product. You can't put your heart and soul into growing this business.
Exactly, yes.
That's tobacco and, all these goods that are harmful for children, for humanity, because there's a mother in you. Woman in you has the mother side that's caring and loving and caring for the world and, for the future.
Absolutely. And I can see...
You can't be purely goal-oriented without connecting it to your heart, to your values.
Today you talk about... absolutely. I mean, I've been nodding along all along. But one thing I want to add, you talked about how corporations require you to be in tune with their mission, to have a passion for their mission, to be confident, vocal, verbal, assertive, and all of those things. And you know what I saw, I mean, I was in semiconductor software, okay? So we weren't making things that were bad for the world, but and technology has its own backlash, but still, it wasn't work that I was proud of the work that we were doing. But what I realized is even though women can meet all of those conditions, being confident, ambitious, in tune, etc., when they are, the structure does not accept it.
Yeah.
Right? So a woman who is assertive is not accepted, it's seen as a bad thing. I mean, in the appraisals and stuff, they might say that it's okay, but in their mind, they've already pulled you down 2 notches because you're assertive. Right? Even though leadership, all the books on leadership that I've read, they talk about a nurturing form of leadership. Leader is one who leads by example. You shouldn't have to lead by force, right? You lead by example, and that you take the team along. Everything's collective. That's the ideal of leadership that all the leadership books from Harvard to anywhere in the world that they talk about. But if you go and try and implement any of those in the real corporate world, it backfires. If you take the team along, you're seen as weak. If you're not strong arming the team or shouting at them, etc., it's taken as weak. Yes, there are a couple of companies where that's not the case, but in a lot of companies, the paradigm, the actual, the model of leadership that's in existence is very masculine. It's
Mhm.
very physical. It's very violent.
Patriarchy
That
even.
term loosely. Uh, and when women have to climb that corporate ladder, then women have to start behaving that way. That, like you said, there aren't any role models for us in the paradigm of feminine leadership. When women climb the ladder, they have to start acting in that masculine way in order to climb the ladder. They
To
lose
be
that,
accepted there.
yes, to be accepted, and that kills them. At some point of time, it kind of, if your heart, like you said, if your heart is not in it, it's not going to happen. So it's,
And I think it comes back to the difference in interpretation, the unspoken difference in interpretation. When women feel confident, it feels different for us.
yes,
And men in your corporation might not accept it as confident. They anticipate something else from you. Their perception of confidence is different to your feminine perception of
yes.
confidence.
And their perception of a woman being confident is different. Their
Yes.
perception of a woman being being assertive equals being. There is that joke, or there's a lame joke that does the round. So you see an office, you walk into a cubicle, and there's a photo of a family. Okay, uh, husband, wife, two kids. There's a photo of the family, nothing else in the cubicle, just a computer and laptop. And when you walk by it, and if it's a guy's nameplate on the cubicle, you'll say, "Oh, what a family-oriented guy! He loves his family so much. He's got a
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
of his family there." And if the nameplate is changed and you have a woman's nameplate, like, she doesn't focus enough on her work. She's
Yeah.
not focused on her work, right? It's the same thing. A picture. That's the
It's
interpretation.
simply uh, instinct based, because
Yes.
I think they
Bias.
know that women have strong family instincts if they have children, and they understand that if something happens to their children, they will prioritize children. But the problem with this is that it's kind of, accepted as a prerequisite. If you have children and family, your 99% of focus and priority is your children.
Yeah, that's assumed. And they don't,
And they believe that you will betray company. Their goal, their mission, their vision, you will betray it.
what they don't
They just
realize is
don't trust you. That's why you are not amongst the future stars, etc.
yeah.
They
That's
don't
called the
trust you.
motherhood penalty. The motherhood penalty. There's a term,
Yeah.
the motherhood penalty. And
Also, since again, it's the system
yes,
made by guys for guys to become good guys, successful guys, and men still don't understand women. They
that's
just don't
yes,
know what
yes,
to expect.
yes. Oh, my
They
God.
don't know, and I think it's what here I want to talk more about it actually. Here it comes back to us, to our responsibility. It's easy to sit here and complain and talk about, you don't understand us, you don't accept our power, you feel we are weak, you say we're weak, you are intimidated if we're powerful, etc. It's easy to take the victim position. What I want to encourage women in business to do, especially entrepreneurs who are doing their own business, is to actually embrace their feminine, understand, know more about it, together with their own masculine. They accept, the
Mhm.
um,
You have to balance both the energy.
expression.
You have to
Yeah, yeah.
understand and balance both the.
Knowing your own strength, knowing what is feminine,
Yeah.
articulating and actually expressing it.
Yeah.
And by this, we will start teaching these people in corporation. Maybe they are frustrated and they just don't know how to approach women. Yeah, since big corporations are right now are studying generations, X generation, Y generation, and they're fine-tuning their processes, everything, to actually work with these people,
Mhm.
to learn more about them, they hire people to, you know, they study all these researches of difference in generations and how to approach employees, because they still need people and they need women too.
Yeah.
But I think we didn't take the responsibility of educating about what are our feminine powers, how it expresses, yeah, and how we can be on the same, you know, on the same page to understand each other, and you know, have this almost like a negotiation, because we're just taking the victim position, or we're taking their rules and playing along with their masculine rules, just accepting it. But I think we are at the point in time where we can start learning more, understanding more about our feminine power, actually to start accepting it in the first place ourselves.
Yes.
So many women have this conscious or subconscious limitations and stereotypes that being a woman is weak, being a woman is, you know, being jealous or something else. You know, everyone has their own list of stereotypes coming from childhood, the experience with their mothers, with their grandmothers, with their girlfriends, with all the feminine circles, right? And maybe, yes, we don't have good role models, but what I want to talk about is let's become role models.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, what's stopping us right now? If we take away this victim position, take the responsibility, acknowledge and accept that we are powerful in our own way, and it might be different than the masculine power.
Yes.
And we learn what is this power, what is the traits of this power, and how we can better express it and still become successful as women without focusing too much on the masculine role modeling, you know, from men in business. I think, yeah, then we will teach the world what is the strong woman. What is the, you know, the...
I think it's up to our generation
Yeah.
to be that example. Because like you said, you know what, when I was back in corporate, I wouldn't have understood this differentiation between masculine energy and feminine energy, or of different ways of working. I was always wondering that, why don't I fit in? Why do I always feel like such an outsider? But now that I know those terms and I'm able to see and identify that, that gives me something to work with. And I think it's important for women to understand that there are different kinds of energies. There's a masculine way of working, there's a feminine way of working. And a feminine way of working doesn't mean you have to be weak or wimpy or all the other stereotypes.
Yeah.
Feminine can be strong, right? You and
Yeah.
I are now a strong women, and we are setting that example. We are changing that conversation, which is another thing that, you know, you and I have both made that transition from corporate to being entrepreneurs. And this has been one of the major reasons why we did it, because we didn't fit into that world. We wanted to create our own world. And I see so many other women across the world are making similar transitions, because it's only when, you know, being an entrepreneur is the only way you have that freedom to truly explore who you are, what you want to do, how you want to show up in the world.
And do it your own way.
Exactly. If you're a strong woman and you want to do it your own way, you have to be your own boss. You cannot work for someone else, right? And that is why we're seeing such a surge of women entrepreneurs these days, because women are suddenly finding their voices. Women want, this is the conversation we recorded with Jen, are finding their voices. Women want to speak up. Women want to be heard. Women want to share their message. Women want to be themselves. They want to embrace their own truth, right? And that is why, well, unfortunately, the corporate world doesn't let you do all of that.
Yeah.
You have to be your own.
And it's hard actually to articulate it being inside of that system.
Exactly.
You just feel uncomfortable, and maybe you feel guilty for feeling uncomfortable, or maybe you're feeling or judging yourself that, you know, these guys are so driven and, you know, assertive and they're so confident. Why I'm not like them? But actually, it's wrong to compare yourself with these guys.
Exactly.
And then at a certain point, you start resenting yourself. Or we can do a different thing. We can start analyzing what's not working. Everything started, like we, all of us, these women who had this corporate past and growing in the corporate, we were there for a reason. As I started this conversation, we were spying in that world. But maybe to understand better, first of all, our own masculine, we do have masculine energy. Yes. Everyone has it in their own balance, but yet since we're in the feminine body, physically, we can't compete on the physical masculine, because level of testosterone, etc., it's chemical. We can't just change it. We have to accept it. But there are areas where are stronger, and we need to focus on that and maybe balance it out and, blend it together with their, this masculine trait. I will give examples to be clear.
Well,
for example,
let's do this.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. For example. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're running a bit short on time, and I remember that you have 2 webinars talking about this, right? 2 recordings talking about this: the masculine energy and feminine energy, how energy and structure manifests in not manifests, but shows up in different ways, right? Can you share those links, and we will add them at the end of this video, okay? But
yes, sure.
Can we quickly move on to talking about feminine energy in business? I know that's the focus. What we've been talking about, the corporate world, that's our past, both yours and mine.
Yeah.
How about, can we move on to talking about feminine energy in business and how you help that show up? Because again, the business world, especially the online business world, is heavily masculine. Every online business guru talks about hustle, hustle, hustle. You've got to work. You've got to do the hustle. You've got to double your email list in 10 days and 10,000 subscribers in 1 month and things like that. That's a very masculine way of working again. Hustle. Women don't want to work that way. We don't work best in that mode, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk a bit about feminine energy in business?
Yeah, so actually on the webinar I did about feminine energy, I shared the slides where I've come up with the energetic kind of a blueprint of feminine business. So it has to involve spiritual vision, your spirituality. It doesn't mean religious, or I think everyone, women are better with invisible world because we're receptive. Yeah, so kind of co-creating with spirit is this receptivity. It can start from simple, getting intuitive ideas, having your vision for the future, for the better world, all these things. It's spiritual. You can call it spiritual, you can call it something else, but still, it's very feminine to align it with something bigger than yourself. Right? Something that will inspire you. And it comes from this receptivity. So again, based on receptivity, it's using your intuition in decision making, in choosing your business strategies, in choosing your team members, in identifying your ideal client profile. In every process, you can involve your intuition.
Yes.
And it's very natural to you as a woman, because you have a lot of feminine energy, is being receptive, 360 view, and accepting information from everywhere. Then you will use your masculine energy to actually analyze, structure, plan, all these steps. But first you start from this receptivity. Like receive everything that comes and then analyze and accept or make decisions, right? Yeah. But the order is different. Because in masculine world, you will start from analyzing past, analyzing others, making all this. Here you can use different kind of tool or process. Meditate, understand how different things make you feel, how other businesses make you feel, how their success processes make you feel. It's different. It's using your intuition, the way it makes you feel, and actually understanding what's your heart desire, how your heart reacts to certain things. Of course, for example, you have set a goal to increase your list for 1,000 people. But how are you going to make it? How the process of it will make you feel. It's important that for women, it's important to feel good in the process of doing it. I must like, my heart must like, my soul must be involved in everyday process of it. It's not just a number in my, KPI list or whatever. I will not be excited with the number if I wasn't enjoying the process.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I'm really like because everything that you're saying, I'm like, yes, that is how I work. That is how I feel. And I wouldn't have that's not what all the business gurus out there teach you or tell you. No one talks about this. And I'm like, that's why that information doesn't resonate with me. That is why, those courses and programs that I signed up for didn't resonate with me. That's not how I work. This is how I work. This is.
And again, people connections.
Yes.
We want to make deep, meaningful, heartfelt connections.
Yes.
We want to extend our clients as our family.
Yes.
We don't want to have another mark in our list,
Business is personal.
Yeah. We can do the same, but the way we approach it, the motivation behind it is different. It's important for us how we're doing it, how we're feeling it in the process.
Well, I just updated my website, and that is exactly what I have on my about page.
Yes. Another small thing. Feminine energy works best when it's relaxed and expanded.
Yeah, you can see I'm tense. Yes.
Yeah. So when you're focused and tense, you can't quite tap into this feminine power. And actually, some people will, when you are purely in your masculine, someone, for example, a masculine coach or mentor, will map you out a detailed plan, like 10 steps. Well, I have my own example, but probably when we utilize best our feminine energy and intuition, we can see further than our logic mind.
Yes.
That's why we can come up with an unexpected creative solution that will bring better results, and we will also feel happy and joyful while implementing that strategy.
Absolutely.
Like the first strategy to get first clients for me, and then the direction to change my niche came to me intuitively. And no matter how many steps I did before that, and it didn't work, I could be pushing, following someone's advice and pushing and doing. I would be exhausted with no result. It didn't work for me. But when I just followed this intuitive nudge, one step and everything started working. So it means that I'm still in the beginning phase of my business, but when you involve the feminine power qualities, you can have shortcuts. You can intuitively find better solution.
The masculine way is very linear. It is very linear.
Like step by step, linear step by step. You should follow the process, and it's mentor based. Like I did this, and it worked for me. You have to do that, and it will work for you. If it doesn't work for you, you're doing something wrong. You just need to copy me.
Yeah, so, that's what a lot of business gurus out there say. I did this way, I got my clients to do it this way, and therefore you should do it this way too.
Yeah.
And I hate that approach because every one of us is different. Every one of us has their own unique skills, their own unique way, and more importantly, their own unique needs. Every one of the women I know who are in business started it for a wide variety of reasons. It wasn't just about the money. It's about expressing themselves. It's about being the truest version of themselves that they can. It's about setting a better example for their children. It's about making the world a better place. It's about utilizing their skills. So it's never really about the money. That's not why we start businesses. And
I want to add that need to be open for divine compensation.
Yes,
for
yes,
the
you have to be
good
open to
share.
money. You have to make a profit in business.
It's very feminine because
Absolutely.
abundance and wealth is very feminine.
Absolutely.
If
I
you
don't
have
dispute it.
scarcity, it's actually denying your feminine.
Absolutely.
If you're not open for divine compensation, which is, high end, etc.,
Yeah.
you're actually denying your feminine.
Agreed. I meant to say it's not just about the money. Money is important, but it's not
Yeah.
only about the money. Like a lot of
So the order is different.
yes.
We're not money motivated, but
everything
it's to keep moving towards our vision. We need this money, and we are happy to accept it.
yes.
So I think just the order of things is different from us, like opposite. And the energies are moving opposite direction. The feminine energy is going downwards, and masculine is going upwards. That's why it's the same things, but in the different order, maybe.
Damn, this is like, I mean, I think we could go on talking forever, but
Yeah.
we are way over time. So let's call it, well, let's wrap this up here. And for those who'd like to explore more about feminine and masculine energies, I will include the link to Saule's workshops that you can take a look at later. And yes, they're still free workshops, right, Saule?
Yeah.
So you can take a look at them later. And if you would like to explore more about healing and balancing your energies, your feminine and masculine energies, you can get in touch with Saule.
Yeah.
Saule, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, you can find me on my website. It's www.sauleatantay.com. And I have also FB page, and you are welcome to join me here. It's Saule Atantay Coaching.
Perfect. I will include them. And yes, in this conversation with Saule, I realized why I was struggling so much to talk about what I do as a business coach. Because the way I work with my clients, I've been calling it organic, but I realized it's the feminine way of working.
Yeah.
I don't tell them, I give them a structure, but I don't tell them you have to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
I let them go according to their flow and I walk along with them. And that's why my work is different from all the other coaches out there. I can't say, this is what I did and therefore you should do. I can't tell them you have to stick to these 5 steps that I gave you. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for women. So yes, thank you. This conversation helped me clarify.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
We're learning more about our feminine powers through our experience.
Yes.
And I'm happy when I'm on this journey. It means soon enough, it will be kind of official. We will start sharing this knowledge. The more we share it, the more we acknowledge and other women acknowledge their feminine powers. And the more we acknowledge it, we will stop resenting ourselves, feeling, men are superior and we are, weak and independent and not powerful.
Women step out of that victim mode, that feeling trapped.
Yeah.
Right? And I that is exactly why we are recording this series.
Yes, absolutely.
That is why we're recording this and sharing this. And I hope that whoever needs to hear this series gets to hear it. So those of you who are watching, please, if you know people who could benefit from this, please share.
Yeah. Again, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you about this. And I hope there will be women who will learn from this conversation. And I will be happy to listen to your other recordings with other women. I really can't wait when it goes live.
I will be sharing it real soon, okay? Thank you so much, Saule. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.